Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into two ideas you've definitely heard about, but maybe haven't really dug into: karma and reincarnation. And look, this isn't about some abstract philosophy. We're going to explore how these ancient concepts can actually give us a super practical way to navigate our modern lives.
It's a weird paradox, right? We're living in a time with just unbelievable scientific and technological progress. We have more information right at our fingertips than any other generation in history. And yet, for so many of us, all this progress has brought on this feeling of anxiety, a sense that we're disconnected from any real purpose. Our world puts such a huge emphasis on logic, on things we can physically prove. And because of that, we've kind of dismissed a lot of older wisdom. We've become masters at analytical thinking. But in doing that, maybe we've lost touch with our intuition, that gut feeling. And that disconnect, well, it can leave a real void. The principles we're about to explore might just help fill it.
All right, to really get the big picture, we have to start with the foundation that holds it all together: the law of karma. So, what is karma really? At its heart, it's not about some divine judge or a cosmic report card. Just think of it as a natural law, as basic and reliable as gravity. The classic way to explain it is farming. You plant bean seeds, you get beans. You can't plant beans and hope you'll get watermelons. It's really that simple, an unbreakable law of cause and effect. And this gets right to the heart of a huge misunderstanding. Karma is not fate. It's not a punishment sent down from the heavens. Nope. It's just a neutral, impersonal principle. And that difference is so important because it means we're not just passive victims of destiny. It means we are the active creators of our own lives. We're the farmers in our own fields. Okay, and here's where it gets even more interesting and, honestly, more empowering. A seed, or, a past action, it doesn't just sprout all by itself. It needs the right conditions to grow: good soil, water, sunshine. Well, it's the same thing with a karmic cause. It needs certain supporting factors, these conditions, for it to ripen into an effect. And guess what? That's where our power is.
There's a simple story that explains this perfectly. Imagine a man who feels terrible about his past harmful actions. A wise monk gives him some thorny seeds to plant in two different fields. So the cause, the thorny seeds, is exactly the same in both places, but the conditions, totally different. He waters one field every day, feeding those seeds. The other one, he covers it in stone dust and just ignores it. And the result? One field is completely overgrown with painful thorns, while the other one is totally harmless. The lesson here is huge. Even if we've planted negative seeds in the past, right now, in the present, we have the power to stop watering them.
This is probably the toughest question of all, right? It's the one that really makes you wonder. If the law is do good, get good, then why do we see these incredibly kind and generous people going through so much hardship, while other people who seem to do whatever they want just thrive? Well, according to this way of thinking, the answer is all about timing. The effects we're feeling today might not be from the seeds we planted yesterday. This is the key. Karmic results, they don't all pop up on the same schedule. Some actions will give you results pretty quickly, right here in this lifetime. Others are like long-term investments. Their effects won't show up until a future life. And some might not ripen for many lifetimes. So a person's suffering right now could be the result of a seed planted a long, long time ago, even while the good things they're doing today are planting a much better future. And then there's this really fascinating fourth option: karma that just becomes ineffective. It's like a seed that never gets the right conditions, so it just never sprouts. So if our actions are creating results across different lifetimes, the next question is obvious. Where exactly do these results happen? This leads us to the idea of reincarnation, which is often shown as a big wheel of life, a cycle through 6 very different realms of existence. This table basically lays out the map of that cycle. Our dominant state of mind, our general vibe, acts like a magnet, pulling us toward one of these realms. So down at the lower end, extreme hatred can lead to states of intense suffering, the so-called hell realm. Greed can lead to a state of constant gnawing hunger, the hungry ghost realm. But on the other end, consistent compassion can lead to a really blissful, though still temporary, heavenly realm. But check out the human realm, sitting right there in the middle. It's seen as super precious because it has the perfect mix of pleasure and pain. It gives us the ideal setup to understand this whole cycle and finally figure out how to get off the ride. Now I know,
Looking at a wheel like that can seem a little intimidating, like we're just stuck going around and around. But the most important thing to get about this whole framework is that it's not a prison sentence. It's more like a diagnosis. And with that diagnosis comes a really clear, step-by-step prescription for how to find freedom.
Here's the practical game plan. It starts with step 1, sincere repentance. And this isn't about beating yourself up with guilt, it's about being honest and acknowledging the harm you've done. Step 2 is to stop harming and start doing good. You stop watering the thorns and you start planting flowers. Step 3 is self-restraint, basically being mindful and acting with integrity even when you think nobody's looking. And then there's the final, most powerful step, shifting your focus from just saving yourself to helping everyone. This huge expansion of compassion is said to be the fastest way to change everything. I mean, what a hopeful and empowering message, right? It's this powerful reminder that our past doesn't have to be our future. The second we decide to change our direction with real sincerity, we start to change our whole path. The past is for learning from, not for living in. The real power is always, always, right now, in this moment.
So the ultimate takeaway from all of this is a sense of radical responsibility, but also profound hope. Every thought we have, every word we say, every action we take, it's a seed. It reminds us that we aren't just watching our lives happen to us. We are the active gardeners of our own destiny. Which leaves us with just one question, the one you see right here.